You might be seeing loop engineering get a lot of attention in AI world these days. Like this tweet from the creator of OpenClaw that basically says that you shouldn't be prompting coding agents anymore. You should be designing loops that prompt your agents. Now, I have been using loops at work for quite some time and I have something to show you and it is very interesting. So this is what I did. I set up a race between a fancy self-correcting loop on the left and one simple good old prompt on the right. Which one do you think will perform better? Let's find out. Alright, so before we start, let's quickly try to understand what loop engineering actually is. So basically it starts with a goal. So you give an agent a goal. The goal could be something like book a flight ticket for me from Mumbai to Delhi and the cost should be under 7,000 rupees and the departure time should be between 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Once you do that, the agent will get to work and it will keep checking its results until it actually reaches the goal, until it actually finds a flight which is under rupees 7,000 that goes from Mumbai to Delhi and departs between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. So it kind of loops until it reaches the goal. That sounds good, right? Like you give agent a task and it will keep doing it, it will keep attempting it until it succeeds. But it's a bit complicated than that. Sometimes what happens is the agent will basically modify the check to bypass the check. And that is where things get interesting. So let's see what happens in the race between a loop and a simple prompt. Okay, so this is what we are going to ask our agent to do. It has to come up with a meal plan to feed 2 people dinner for a week, and these are the conditions that it needs to satisfy. The total budget is under 2,500 rupees for the entire week. Every dinner, it should be at least 550 calories, and there should be no repeated meals. And we will run it on Claude Code side by side. So on the left side, we'll set up the loop and on the right side, we'll just have a simple prompt. Let's see how they perform in this race. All right, so on the left side where we are going to run the loop, I am going to prompt it with this. Plan 7 dinners for 2 people on tight weekly grocery budget. Write your plan to plan.json, then run python check.py. If any check fails, revise the plan.json and run check.py again. Keep looping on your own until every check passes. Don't ask me anything in between. Now you might be wondering what check.py is. So let me show it to you quickly. It is a small Python file where all the rules are there that I want my agent to pass. So these are the rules. It has a weekly budget of 2,500, minimum calories of 550 per dinner, and then it can't repeat any meals. So those are just the simple rules that I've made in this Python file. So this is our loop. Before we submit the loop, let's come here on the right side where we are going to write a simple prompt. Plan 7 dinners for 2 people for the week. Keep the total grocery cost under 2,500 rupees. Every dinner at least 550 calories and no repeated meals. Give me the plan with a rough cost per meal. Now we are ready to submit our loop as well as our prompt. So let's go ahead. I'll go ahead and submit both of these together and let's see what happens. I can see that it is trying to figure out what's there in check.py because we did not give it any budget or anything like that here. We have just asked it to check the Python file for all the rules. While on the right side, we can see that since it had everything in here in the prompt, it basically came up with an answer very quickly. While on the left side, we can see that our loop is still running. All right, so I can see that answers are starting to come up on the left side with our loop as well. Now let's try to compare what answers we got from the loop and what answers we got from our simple prompt. So on the loop on Monday, it has Rajma Chawal for dinner and the cost it says would be 180 rupees and the calories would be 650. With our prompt, we see again Rajma Chawal and it has a bit lower calorie and the cost is also lower. We'll need to figure out why there is difference in the cost as well as calorie for the same Rajma Chawal meal. So there's a bit of difference in the results. Now overall, if you compare the results, there's not much of a difference because our use case was simple. But one thing that stood out was the difference in speed of both the results. As we saw that our prompt already gave us the result while the loop was still working. It was still looping to figure out if all the checks which are shown here are passed or not, which kind of took significantly more time than what a simple prompt was able to achieve in a much shorter time frame. Now, one more thing our loop prompted is that It could have written $1 dinner at 9999 calories and it would still go green. Instead, it used genuinely budget-friendly Indian dinners. And I have some doubts about it. So I'll go ahead and ask it to prove that it can write $1 dinner at 9999 calories. Let's see what happens. Can you prove it? I would like you to actually write that dinner for me. Let's see what happens. So it will try to write it and also run our checker, and we can see that it is trying to gather a lot of data and it has spun up sub agents for it. Let's see what we have as a result. And now we have the result, and I can see that after we pushed it a bit, it actually modified the responses and basically made up things to basically pass the test. For example, it is telling us that we should have air sandwich for ₹1 and, very important, photo of a samosa at 9999 calories each. What the heck? What is a photo of samosa? Like, how would you eat photo of samosa? The point here is the loop is trying to pass those check conditions by modifying the answers in a way which are just not possible. Like, you can't really eat a photo of a samosa and there is nothing called air sandwich. So what would you say, guys? Like, which one do you think was the winner here? I try to make videos on AI which are relatable to people. So if that is something that interests you, please go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, bye-bye.